I'm Cavin, a wedding photographer and bridal boutique owner based in San Diego, and today I'm going to be talking about what you want to include on a wedding website. So first things first, where do you even make a wedding website? Places that I would recommend are maybe Zola or The Knot. There are a couple others, but those are the first places that I would start. Maybe look at their sample website, see which ones resonate with you best. I think that my husband and I made ours on Zola. I'm pretty sure it's been a couple years, but I think that that's where we made ours. Now, what is the purpose of a wedding website? A wedding website is generally a place where you are going to put things like your event details, hotel information, attire information like what to wear, any sort of travel information, basically anything that you do not want your guests texting or calling you about, bugging you about the week of your wedding, everything that you need to put on there so that they don't bug you asking you like, hey, what do I need to know about this? Just put everything on there that you don't want people bothering you about, essentially. So when you are making your wedding website, if you have the time, design your website as much as you can with the resources that the site gives you. Design it as close to your wedding aesthetic as possible. That way your guests get a taste and a feel for what your wedding is going to look like. Some of you might find that silly, but for those of you who care about design and aesthetics, you might want to take a little bit of time to do that. What is really important is that if you have some events that not every guest is invited to, do not put that event on your wedding website. For example, if you have a rehearsal dinner and not every single guest is invited to the rehearsal dinner, do not put the rehearsal dinner on your wedding website, because then some of your guests are going to think, oh hey, there's the rehearsal dinner, we're going to that, but they're not actually invited, so do not put that on there. Same thing for like bridal showers or anything like that that not every single guest is invited to, so keep those events off of your wedding website. You will be sending invitations or you will be calling people to invite them to that are actually invited to it, so keep those kinds of events off of the wedding website. When you are listing events that everybody is invited to, you should include the time, the date, the full address, maybe even the travel time from the hotel that people are going to be staying at, but anything that people need to know about the event, including what to wear to the event, every kind of like wardrobe decision, the dress code that they should be wearing to the event. I recently put out a video all about dress codes that you should definitely go watch if you are not sure how to describe different dress codes or what different dress codes are named and what they mean. I have a video describing every single thing you need to know about that, so definitely make sure that you go watch that. I will link it down below in the description for you. For each event, you should also be listing out what kind of food will be served there, not like specifically what kind of food, but light refreshments will be served or like full meals will be served, so that the guests know ahead of time if they need to eat a little bit before they go or if they are planning to have a full meal at the event. Things like that are nice to know so that they don't come too hungry if they're not going to get a full meal at the event. Now, other things that you want to have on your wedding website are hotel information. So where guests should be staying, if there's a hotel block, how to book that hotel block, if there is a certain code that they need to know, anything like that that they are going to need to have the information for in order to secure their hotel, maybe even how far the hotel is from the events. Unless you are providing a shuttle, if there is shuttle information, that should be going on the wedding website as well. Basically, they need to know how they're going to be traveling from your events to the hotels. Everything like that should be on the wedding website. Also, one thing that might be nice to note for your events regarding the dress code, if it's going to be chilly at night and you're going to be outside, maybe put a note that people should bring, especially the women, because men might be coming in suits that are going to have a jacket, maybe that the women should bring a light jacket or a shawl, something like that, so that they stay warm. That might be a good thing to put on there as well. One huge thing, are you going to be taking RSVPs through your wedding website? If you are, make sure that you set it up far in advance before you release your wedding website to your guest, and test it. Make sure that it is actually working so that you don't get 1,000 phone calls from your guest. It's not working, I can't make it work, can I just RSVP to you manually? You do not want that happening, so make sure that you guys test it out to make sure that it is actually working and set up for success. That is very, very important. Another thing that you want to make note of for each event, are you having an unplugged ceremony? If you're not sure what an unplug ceremony is, I think I have a video for that, and if I do, I will link it down below, but that basically means that you will not be having people with their cell phones out during your ceremony. I highly recommend this. It is very, very, very beneficial for your photos. Are you also having child-free events? You need to make sure that you list that so that people know not to bring their children to your events. Make sure that you list all kinds of things like that, or if there are restrictions or rules about certain events based on your venue, you need to list these things out on your wedding website so that people know what to expect. Another thing that you should have, if you would like to, on your wedding website is where you are registered. So you can have a little page called Registry, and then all of the places that you are registered with little links to those places and any information that your guests will need to know about your registry. Is there a password or anything like that? Usually there's not, but any sort of links. So you can put all of your registry information here. Do not put your registry information on your actual wedding invitations. That is a huge faux pas. So here you can have it on your actual wedding website, and that is where guests will know where to find your registry. And then optional to have on your wedding website, this is totally not necessary whatsoever, but if you want to take the time to do it, you can write out a little personal bio type history section about you and your fiance, how you met, what the proposal story was like, maybe a couple pictures of the two of you from your engagement session, or just pictures that you have of yourselves. You can do something like that if you think that your guests will want to read about the two of you. There are also some sites that will have a wedding party section where you will write out the names of each member of your wedding party with pictures. This is totally unnecessary, I feel like, but you can do this if you would like to, but it is not at all necessary. If you feel like your guests will care about this and will want to see this, you can do this, but you do not have to. It is a lot of work, and you can definitely take this time to fill out more necessary logistical information sections of your wedding website. But again, if this makes you happy and you want to share your wedding party with the entire world, because these sites are often kind of public and you can search for them on Google, then you can absolutely by all means do this. And that brings me to a security thing. Some wedding websites will, I believe, allow you to password protect, but a lot of these wedding websites can be searched by Google. So if you type, let's say your names are Jane and John, if you type Jane Doe and John Hancock into Google wedding September San Diego, you will often be able to very easily find the wedding website on Google and see everything that there is. So it can be very public. So this is one thing that you might want to think about and investigate when you are creating your wedding website. It can be a security concern. So if that is something that is an issue for you, make sure that you research the wedding website, see if it is searchable on Google, and make sure that you choose one that is not, or disable it if that is a feature from the website host. So this can definitely be something that you want to look into, and make sure that you find one that will not be searchable on Google if you do not want to be searchable on Google. So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you guys. You can have fun creating your wedding website, make it a little weekend project for yourself, fill it all out before you send off your save the dates to your guest. So usually your save the date will be the place where you include your wedding website. You can also put it somewhere on your invitation, maybe include, maybe not on the actual invitation itself, but on a little details card that you send along with your invitation. You can include it. If you cannot afford to do an additional details card, then you can put it on your invitation, of course, but just include it on there. If the wedding website itself has an extremely long URL, then you can use a site like Bitly. It's a link shortener. You can just type in Bitly in Google, and then you can use a link shortener and just use it, and that way it shortens the link and makes it way prettier and easier to fit on an invitation. So just another little tip for you guys. But anyways, that is pretty much it. Happy building your website, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!